Thanks for participating in the Xsuite test drive on Amazon Web Services. In the test drive, you'll have an opportunity to work with 4 different common Xsuite use cases. In the lab, you'll gain access to a pre-configured network environment running on AWS EC2 and protected by Xsuite. We'll walk through the structure of the network in just a moment when we explain the 4 use cases. Xsuite is the only privileged identity management product that protects the entire hybrid cloud, including resources found in traditional physical data centers, virtualized resources, SaaS applications, and of course, IT resources running on Amazon's EC2. Xsuite also extends privileged user controls to the powerful management consoles used to operate AWS, virtual, and other cloud-based offerings. Xsuite lets you control, monitor, and audit privileged users, enabling least privileged access to resources and maintaining separation of duties. On the AWS platform, Xsuite serves as a bridge between Active Directory and AWS's Identity and Access Management subsystem. It also extends privileged user controls to the Management Console APIs used to automate cloud-based operations. With Xsuite, you control access to resources, limit commands, and create comprehensive activity logs for connections made from command lines, through programs and scripts, and from configuration management tools like Chef or Puppet. Xsuite's comprehensive privileged user management capabilities deliver a number of important benefits. Improved security. Privileged users can pose a significant risk, and Xsuite provides critical controls and the capabilities needed to control, monitor, and audit these users. Compliance. Privileged user controls are a growing element of regulatory and compliance initiatives, and auditors have begun to highlight lapses in privileged identity management in their findings. More efficient operations. With features like single sign-on and powerful password management, Xsuite was designed to make administration of IT infrastructure easy and fast. Xsuite speeds investigation of security incidents, and the ability to federate privileged user identity helps keep administrative overhead low. To help you get the most out of your test drive, we've created a prototypical network environment and predefined a number of users and associated control policies. Full details are in the test drive guide, which you should download and have with you while you work through the use cases. To begin with, let's take a look at the resources that make up your test drive network. You'll interact with network resources by logging into an Xsuite appliance. You'll interact with a special Xsuite proxy server when it's time to test Management Console API protections. In order to show you how Xsuite protects resources, we've created a number of different personas you'll use in the lab. Details and credentials are provided in the documentation. There are 4 other network resources within the test drive environment: a standalone Linux server, another Linux server, this one running Splunk used for reporting and analysis tasks, 2 Windows 2008 R2 servers, one acting as the domain server, and the other as a member server. In the first use case, you'll see how Xsuite protects infrastructure running on AWS. You'll work as Denise, a database administrator, with access to only 2 of the 4 servers and constraints on our use of sysadmin commands. The key Xsuite capabilities you'll work with include single sign-on to Windows and Linux servers, role-based access controls, constraining resource access based on an individual's work responsibilities, Xsuite's ability to protect credentials in an encrypted credential safe, leapfrog protection, eliminating the ability of an attacker to move laterally in your network, and session recording, capturing everything a privileged user does with the ability to replay complete sessions. In the use case, you'll see how Xsuite can control access, monitor, and audit systems administrators like Denise, and how Xsuite can save busy administrators time by providing quick single sign-on to AWS and other resources. Separation of duties and federated identity is documented in use case number 2, where you work with 2 different personas: Jacqueline, a junior systems administrator who has access to just 2 of the servers and read-only access in the AWS Management Console, and Timothy, a trusted senior systems administrator who has access to all the servers and full rights in the AWS Management Console. In the use case, you'll see how Xsuite federates identity between Active Directory and the AWS IAM subsystem, use single sign-on to access the AWS Management Console, enforce separation of duties in the Management Console without the need to configure individual users in AWS's IAM, and session recording. In the third use case, you'll experience how Xsuite protects the AWS Management APIs and provides real-time logging of actions taken through those APIs. The AWS Management Console APIs provide a significant benefit to organizations since they make it possible to automate routine interactions with the system. But they also represent a significant risk because of the wide-ranging power they provide to users and the difficulty of logging exactly what's happening with the system. As Blake, you'll see how Xsuite can proxy access to the AWS APIs, eliminating the need for individuals to have access to powerful master AWS passwords. In the final use case, you'll work as Aaron, an auditor who only has access to Xsuite session recordings in the Splunk application running on the Linux server. You'll see how Xsuite's DVR-like playback makes it simple to review recordings, and how Xsuite is able to attribute each session to an individual user. You'll also learn how Xsuite's API proxy captures a full, bidirectional audit trail of AWS Management API calls for easy review in Splunk. Thanks again for your interest in the Xsuite test drive for AWS. If you haven't had a chance to do so already, please download the test drive guide where you'll find step-by-step instructions for the individual use cases. As you work through the scenarios, we'd love to hear from you with questions you might have or additional information you might need. You can contact us through any of these channels.